Load turning.
Lifting and handling heavy loads safely requires experience, expertise, and the proper lifting equipment. Activities such as lifting, transferring, and turning a load can seldom be done without the help of a crane. Safely using a crane to perform these activities requires accurate calculations and a number of safety precautions at the lift site. This module focuses on the calculations and precautions required to perform load-turning operations. To begin, let's go through the objectives of this module, which will give you a brief outline of what this module covers. After completing this module, you will be able to define load turning and describe controlling the center of gravity while turning a load. You will also be able to determine the load share by using the known runs formula on the Journeyman Riggers reference card, when using two cranes and using a single crane to turn a load. In simple terms, load turning is the process of changing the position of an object from one side to another. When using cranes to turn loads, two very important factors must be considered. They are controlling the center of gravity and determining the share of load weight for the crane or cranes. As mentioned earlier, controlling the center of gravity and determining the share of load weight are critical in turning a load. Let's learn about controlling the center of gravity first. The center of gravity is the point at which the entire weight of a load is concentrated, so that if supported at this point, the load would remain equal in any position. Think of kids on a playground. You'll probably see four smaller kids on one end of a teeter-totter trying to balance the teeter-totter with two bigger kids on the other end. When the board balance is level, the center of gravity is over the middle support bar. It is the combination of weight and its distance from the center of gravity on each side of the center of gravity that makes the teeter-totter balance. Controlling the center of gravity is important to prevent the load from rotating in an undesirable direction. We must have absolute control over the rotation of the load. Prior to turning a load, you must decide which direction the load has to be turned. If you're unable to manage the load center of gravity, it may rotate uncontrollably, causing serious injury or damage. Here's a 26,000-pound load. Suppose you have to rotate the load from north to south. To control the center of gravity and prevent the load from rotating in the east-west direction, you need to attach two slings on the north side and two slings on the south side, with each pair straddling the center of gravity. The lift director, rigger, and the crane operator must plan and visualize the load being turned prior to the process being started. Once they're convinced that everything is ready, then they can make the lift. Rotating the load in the north-south direction will look like this. Now let's learn about determining the share of load.